folks. Oh, looks like I'm having a little bit of trouble with my camera. Let's see if we can get this to work right. There we go. Welcome to another workout. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with my first set here, warming up. But if you got questions, comments, whatever, just post them, and I'll look at those between sets, chat with y'all. Last day of my Turkesterone trial for chest, so we'll see if we can hit any PRs today. Always warming up first though, because don't need to be getting injured. Nothing's hurting so far, so that's always a good sign. Seems a little bright there. All right, let's get these 45s to put on here. I've been stuck on the same weight for, I don't even know now, like 5 weeks or so. I did 215 for 10 when I was in the last mesocycle, I guess you'd call it. So I bumped up 2.5 pounds, that's it, 2.5 pounds. 1.25 pounds on each side. And I thought that that would be enough to, I'd still be able to get 10 pounds or 10 reps, 9 at the least. But I've been stuck on 8 reps for this entire time. So if I get 9 today, that'll be cool. I also changed how I've been doing the reps because I still want to get 10 reps, so I've been doing this, I guess they're called myo rep matches, what Renaissance periodization talks about, but I do as many as I can, so I do 8, then I rack it, take like 5-6 deep breaths, unrack it, and keep going until I get to 10. So I'm still getting the volume in with the weight, just not in one non-stop set. See these tiny 1.25 pound weights. For my warm-up, I do 15, then 10, and then I need my other weight here. But 15, 10, then 5, and then I go about 10% over my working weight and just do a couple reps, and then go back down to my working weight. It makes the working weight, in my opinion, feel less heavy, so that's always nice. And for those on Rumble, I'm checking back and forth. I'm monitoring the chat on YouTube mainly, but looking at Rumble too. So I will be checking here, see if you guys have questions or comments, you know, whatever. Or if you just want to make fun of me, you know, that's cool too. I usually prefer working out after lunch, but it just gets so hot now. It's like in the 100 almost every day. So the later I work out, the worse it gets. And we got gymnastics practice. I gotta leave in about an hour and a half. Or, yeah, hour and 45 minutes. And I'm gonna be gone for 4 hours, 4.5 hours. No, by the time I get home, it'll be 5 hours. Then it'll be late in the day, almost dinner time, and we got people coming over. So adapt, you know, your workout program to your life. So now we're at 197.5, which is actually going to be my final weight when I'm dropping down on my last set. Still feeling pretty good. A little bit of tightness in my right pec. Just try to stretch it out a little bit. You know, can you hear the baby in the background? That boy has been so loud lately. Constantly yelling. It'll be nice when he finally learns English and isn't screaming all the time. Get the yellow plates out. It's a mess in my garage gym. I typically try to keep it pretty clean in here, but since my daughter found this cat, now it's living in our garage and keep the garage shut, it's just turning into a mess. And they come out here and play with it and leave their stuff out here. So we're just looking forward to when I start building this gym. Have a bunch of space for all the equipment. Would be nice. Be really interested to see if my joints and stuff start feeling better after I stop this Turkesterone, because if it makes you drier, joints being less lubricated, kind of like it's not a good idea to go heavy after you've dehydrated for a bodybuilding show or something like that, because for one, it's just not healthy, but you have a lot higher chance of injuring something. Here's supplements I use. Got a creatine and some pre-workout. Put this over here on the side. A little product placement. There we go. And Turkesterone is what we're finishing up with right now. I haven't really noticed anything crazy from it. So, not something I would necessarily suggest at this point. I'm kind of interested to see if I'll get stronger once I stop using it. Alright, so we got 2, 5, 15, 25, 35, 40, 242 and a half. And I've got all my lifts listed in the description for what I did on my last workout. So I'm basically trying to meet or exceed those, except for these warm-ups, obviously. I just do the same weight, same reps. So this is my last warm-up, just a nice controlled couple reps of this 240. And just keep in mind, like, I've never benched, I've done 275 once. That's like a touch and go rep, not paused or anything. Butt was still on the bench, no arching crazy or anything. But I've got a decent sized chest, so like you don't have to lift a ton of weight. You see these guys, like, saw Hussein Farhat testing his 1 rep max and did like 355 or something like that. So he's got a massive chest, but I remember, I'll say after this set, who's that? What are you doing at the door, honey? You're making a lot of noise. Open it and come out and close it. I remember I got Frank Zane's training manual a long time ago, probably like 10, 12 years ago. And he talked about how a lot of guys are, you know, benching in the mid to high 300s. But for him, he would be doing like 275 to 290, but doing slower reps, paused, controlling it, and talking about getting more out of less weight just by having slower form, more control, and less chance of injury. So that's something that's always stuck with me, and now more and more people are talking about the same thing. What you doing, honey? That boy constantly have food going into his mouth. He's just crying and crying and crying. It's getting a little ridiculous. So you like that thing? Does he like that thing?
Are you making a video?
I'm live streaming right now. Camber's over here.
No. Do you want to be in the camera? Look at this cutie.
That's the cat that's taking over the garage. Hey, you want to sit here and hold the cat for a minute while I go to the bathroom? So there's some entertainment. Just don't say anything weird, okay? Be right back.
Do you want it? Ow. Hey. You're supposed to bring in the video, little dude. Hey. Charlie. Come here, Papa. His name is King Charles. We call him Charlie. Come here, Charlie. 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 Come over here, buddy. Come over here. Here, come on. Ow, stop. Stop it.
This is for the PR attempt. It got dark again. What do you know?
Stand up.
These clouds. We'll look at my numbers here.
You know what? I'm gonna get a stick.
So if I get 9, that'll be a PR. And there's more screaming from baby. If I get 8, that'll pretty much be me staying on the same number for 7 sessions. And if I get less than 8, that'll be even more frustrating. So we got 2, 5, 215. Make sure I put that on right. And now the sun's coming back out. Got this. That kid is so loud. Just do it. Let's go. Come on. Finally. Got a PR, but I gotta do one more rep still. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh man. Peer pressure of the camera and live streaming finally helped me get an extra rep. So that was cool. So we got 9. So that's a 1 rep improvement. Finally. So I'm gonna stick with that weight and do one more set. Same thing. As many reps as I can. And I guess just to be clear, for PR, I'm not talking about 1 rep max PR. I'm talking about these PRs for reps on my first heavy working set. So, let's turn this. I'll write this in the chat. That's a PR at 217.5 by 9. Finally. I think we got the plans for this gym pretty much down. You good, honey? Is he scratching you?
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that because this gym is going to be pretty sweet.
It's gonna be 50 feet.
Around 1,800 square feet on the ground floor.
You said 50.
Huh?
You said 50 feet.
Square feet. So if you look at this garage, you haven't learned this in math yet, but you see how there's that wall, and there's this wall. That wall is like probably 25 feet. This one's about 20 feet. But you have to multiply those by each other to get the square footage, how many feet is on the inside total. So 60 feet long for the shop and 30 feet wide is 6 times 3 is 18. You add 2 zeros, that's 1,800 square feet. But 1,800 square feet on the bottom floor, and then a loft up in part of it that's like another about 550. So, or maybe even more, 600-ish. Have to calculate it because we had to change a little bit for stair placement. But it's gonna be a lot of room for equipment on the bottom and some gymnastic stuff for the girls. So.
We have a lot.
Huh?
We have a lot of gymnastics.
What do you mean?
Like we have.
I'm not talking about the stuff in the house now. I'm talking about the new stuff we're gonna get.
Ooh.
All your other stuff isn't going in there. Like I'm getting those bars like y'all have that bolt into the ground so they don't move around.
So we're not keeping our gymnastics mat or our bar?
I didn't say you're not keeping it. I said that's not going in the gym. You'll have to find somewhere else for that old stuff. Good morning. I guess this early morning workout makes it more watchable for India. So what is it, 11 and a half hours or 10 and a half hours there, I think. So right now it's 8:30 p.m., something like that. Let me know if that's right.
You're tickling my foot.
Does he have any fleas?
Yeah.
You see some?
No, but we're not. Is he seeing some?
Because they were gone after we washed them for a while. Good morning. All right. The shoulder holds up. Next set. Lightweight, baby. You see any?
I think I saw 2.
I need to wash them again today. Maybe y'all can go do that before gymnastics.
Okay.
I mean, don't take him inside right now. Like, let Izzy know and y'all can get the water and soap ready. Lightweight. Seven, let's do is 9. One more. Huh? I told Anna, get Izzy and then wash the cat.
Yeah, they're getting this stuff, so.
I only got one extra rep.
Yay! That's good.
Finally. I was talking to one guy yesterday on there.
Uh-huh.
And he said he hasn't taken the Turkesterone in a couple months and he's stronger now than when he was using it.
Maybe.
My holding less water theory might prove true. Once we get like 2 or 3 extra reps after this stuff.
Yeah.
This will be even better for review. Turkesterone made me weaker. How about that for a title? Are you done screaming?
Not really. Not with the house.
You wanna play with that? Alright, so that one was the same. So now we're dropping at 10 pounds. 2 of 7.5. We'll see how that goes. Oh yeah?
Is Blakey boy on here?
No, it's my editor. He said hi, Jill.
Hi, Rebu. Oh yeah, I was standing in the way of the camera.
I'm doing 200, well it was 217 for my first 2 sets. 217.5. I know some people watching might be like, that's a weird number, because usually everything's in 5-pound increments, but I got my little 1 1/4 pound weights on there to go up slowly, because you can't keep making 5-pound jumps forever, and even a 2.5 pound jump can be a lot. Hey, would you mind putting more water in this? A little more ice. So since I hit a PR, the goal for the rest of it is to hit the same numbers as last time at a minimum. Because if you do hit a PR, that's more work on the front end, so if you can still do the same amount of work on the rest of the workout as the previous time, then that's actually more than you did before because you worked your muscles harder than the previous time. So we'll see. I've had times like yesterday, I hit 2 PRs on the leg press and then fewer reps on an exercise later. Hey big fella, are you sick? Did you get sick in nursery again? At church? You did? Didn't surprise me.
We wouldn't spread it.
You want to hold it some more?
Sick from him.
You can have that. That's the Turk my son is now taking. An empty bottle. Bye. Bye. There you go. Be happy, okay? Hey, big fella. On the bench there. That's not a bench. The bench right in front of you. The other thing was a seat. So we got 3 more sets of bench, then I'm moving on to the rest of the workout. What do we have on here? Hey, what should I do to increase my bench? You just keep bench pressing. If that's what you want to increase, make sure it's what you're doing at the beginning of your exercise or your program, your day, your push day. And the way I typically do it is all like, say 10 to 12 rep range. I was doing 200 pounds for 10, and after like 6 weeks, I got up to 12 reps. So then I add on 5 pounds and shoot for 10 again and keep doing that till I can get to 12 reps. Once I hit 12, add 5 pounds again, or like in this case, 2.5 pounds, and just keep doing that slowly over time. It's not gonna always go up. Sometimes it might go back a little bit. Like this whole last 7 sessions, I was like 8 reps, 7, 8, 8, 8, 7, 8 on this, and now I finally hit 9. And I wouldn't like as soon as you hit 12 necessarily, maybe like 2 sessions in a row hitting 12 reps. Because if you do multiple sets, you know, you hit 12 on the first one, then maybe you hit 12 again on your second set. Once you can do that, up the weight. But yeah, it's a slow process. That's why I tell people you should track this stuff, because it'll be more motivating when you can look back and like this, I'm like, man, I've been stuck on this for a while. But keep in mind, I'm still doing 17.5 pounds more than I was like 4 months ago. And what is that? Like almost 10% increase in weight. So that helps you stay motivated too when you start hitting plateaus. Now, let's see how many reps I can get. I just dropped the weight 10 pounds, which is about 5%. 207.5. You gotta ask Mom, honey, I have no idea. Like I said, I'm shooting for 10 reps. So if I don't hit it, I'm gonna take a few deep breaths and unrack it and get the rest of the reps. That was 9, so I need one more. Shirt keeps pulling back. All right, so that was, someone just fell. A PR for that set too, because I've been getting 8 reps on that, so I just got another rep there. So it's 2 PRs today. I guess I call that a subsequent set PR. Now I'm gonna drop down again. So when I'm working out, if you're going to failure, like you notice I got 9 the first set, then 7. You're not gonna be able to do like 4 or 5 sets of 10 with the same weight. So what I do is I drop the weight as I start losing reps. But I don't just keep dropping it forever. I only drop down to 20% from my top working weight. So in this case, that's about 20 pounds below my starting weight. So I start at 217, I dropped to 10 pounds, did as many as I could, and I just dropped another 10 pounds. I'm gonna stay with this in my last 2 sets. I'm still hitting around that same rep range. If I kept going with that same 217, I'd be doing like sets of 5 right now. Turning into like powerlifting training. And you can do sets of 5 and still build muscle, but you're a lot more likely to get injured the heavier the weight is. So that's not something I want. I don't think anybody wants to get injured. What we got? Sebastian. Yeah, pretty much what Sebastian said. You bench press. You just keep doing it over and over and over and over and slowly make progress. And you want to make sure your form stays the same. So relatively the same tempo, get a full range of motion, touch your chest, push back up. I used to be one of those people that say, well, that hurts my shoulders, I don't want to do that. Well, the reason it hurt my shoulders is because I was trying to bench more than I could, and I was using a lot of shoulders to get it up. So if you can't touch your chest and push it back up, lighten the weight till you can. You'll start to feel your chest more. Make sure you're holding your shoulder blades back, arch your back a little bit so that you feel your chest being used, versus I used to be flat backed and do it like this, and you can feel way more in your shoulders and not much in your chest. So pull your shoulder blades back, about a 45-degree angle on your arms, and you'll feel your chest a whole lot more. And after I started doing that like 6-7 years ago, I started noticing a huge change in my bench and chest development. And who's playing? You hear the piano in the background? But I started noticing a huge change in my bench. I had to drop like 50 pounds or so off it as I learned the technique and got better, but then it started going back up really quick once I got the feel for it. I mean, look at a power lifter and see how they bench press. Not like with a crazy arched back or anything like that, but just the form in general, because that's gonna be telling on like they can bench a lot of weight and they're doing it without injury. So there's probably something to be learned there. So now we're down to 197.5 for the last sets. And the thing again, like I said, keeping track of your progress. You know, 4 months ago or so, I was doing 200 for 10 as a max. Now I'm doing 2.5 pounds less than 200 on my 4th and 5th set for around 10 reps. So after I'm already tired from benching even heavier, I'm doing that same weight for pretty much the same reps. So stuff like that just puts things in perspective and helps stay motivated. But after I do these last 2 sets, it's gonna be supersets of dips, lateral raises, and pec deck flies. Can't tell you how much I'm looking forward to this new gym. It's gonna be pretty sweet. I like hearing my wife sing. She's playing piano and singing right now. I need to hire her to do that during my whole workout. Then we can have some music that won't get a copyright strike. Although, I will say rock is a little more motivating for lifting weights than hymns. It's still better than nothing. The nice thing too is by the time I get back to this weight, it feels a lot lighter. So let's see if we can bust out 10 reps or so. You see I like put my shoulder blades together, make sure I'm even on the bench and comfortable before I start, and keep them there, and then grab the bar. Oh, feels good to get 10, because then I don't have to rack it and do it again. So match that. So far on the session, that's 2 PRs, and then maintaining the same numbers on the rest. So that's good. Oh man. I wasn't feeling that great this morning either, so it's kind of ironic the days I don't get a lot of sleep. Like, he woke up a bunch. I think he's got some molars coming in. Kept crying in the middle of the night, which the last 3-4 weeks since we put him up in his own bedroom instead of in our room, he's just been sleeping through the night every night, sometimes till 9 in the morning. So that was a little rough last night. I just woke up like some allergies and whatnot. So I don't know, maybe I expected less in my workout and then ended up performing better versus expecting to get a lot out of it and doing worse and getting frustrated. But one more set of bench, then moving on to the rest. I definitely take my time more between sets when it's the summertime. It just gets so hot out here. It takes longer to recover between sets. Normally when I'm not streaming, I'll have my fan on and that helps, but the fan is quite loud sitting next to the camera and sitting next to me. But so far, yeah, I got a PR on leg press, got a PR on bench press, which it was only 9 reps. I was hoping when I started this, I'd be already doing 10 and shooting for 11 to 12, but I was stuck on 8, ended up getting 9. I guess percentage-wise, one more rep from 8 is a bigger jump because that's a 12.5% more reps versus 10 to 11 would be a 10% increase in reps. I mean, it's so close. It's not really something that I would measure like that, but still. My goal is to hit 225 for 10 by the end of the year. And then just stay on that weight. Keep doing it until I get up in the 15 rep range. And just be able to do that nice and controlled to maintain. Every so often, you know, bump it up 5-10 pounds. Who knows, I'm sure by the time I get 225 for 10, I'll be like, well, I want to be able to do 275 for 10, which would be pretty crazy. Considering I've only ever done that once, but I doubt I'll ever do that. Okay, last set here. So same weight, drop set, so I'm gonna do as many as I can, pull off the 25s, so it's 197.5, and then dropping down to 147.5, and keep going. So let's see what we can do. It's lightweight. It is lightweight. Oh man, I wasn't sure if I'd get it up. I don't want to arch my back a ton and hurt myself. Like I said earlier, I hit a PR on my first set, and then a subsequent PR on a later set, so there's no point. I mean, yeah, I'm shooting for a number, but I'm not going to try to force it at the risk of an injury either. My chest is burning. So everything was matched, or better, except that last set. I got 8 instead of 9. But I'm happy with that. Because I already did more work leading into it. Oh man. What we got? Old school white guy deleted his message. Okay. Just don't say anything weird. Did someone else see what old school white guy wrote before he deleted it? I'd be interested to know if someone else saw it. It's always funny. I had someone one time tune in and have trans flag or something in the profile right as I mentioned something about homosexuality being wrong based on what the Bible says, and the person retracted the message and left. I just started laughing because it cracks me up. I was debating with this girl on Instagram last week. Basically said like having kids when you're young is weird. And I was like, how in the world is it weird or strange to have kids? Like, do you not want a family? And she never answered the question. All she did was start calling me names, insulting me, saying I was a creep and a pervert, and that I'm disgusting, and voted my daughter's rights away. And that's probably why my wife left me and my kids all hate me. And I was like, what in the world are you talking about? Like, my wife of 16 years is sitting next to me laughing at your psycho statements. And we just got done swimming with our kids at the pool all day, all afternoon. So, you know, whatever. That's the funny thing, like, the whole LGBT, whatever, alphabet letters or advocates talk all about how they're so tolerant of everyone and their opinions until you say something they disagree with, and then they want to kill you. They just turn into like psycho people, and all they can do is insult you because there's not really any logical basis in most of the claims. So that's always been amusing to me. So I'm going to stay with this weight when I come off the turkesterone and see if I start increasing a lot without it, because maybe when I have a little more water retention, I'll get even stronger. We'll see. I would really like for that to happen, actually, because then that'd be a great video title to get a reaction from Greg Doucette and go viral. I got weaker on turkesterone. I read the half-life of it's like 4 to 9 hours or something like that, so I'm gonna give it about a week before I start back in to my trial, and to make sure everything's cleared out of my system. I'll move the camera, sorry if it makes people dizzy. We'll see if that makes a difference. There we go. Time for dips. One of my favorite chest exercises. So I got my first set, 25 pounds hooked to me for 20 reps. Then go up to 80 pounds. Then the last set I do 60 pounds. Do a drop set. You'll notice I like drop sets. Getting tired and not thinking straight from the heat. Oh my goodness. Take it off. Start over. There we go. Got it on. So, it's pretty bright. Turn that down a notch. Starting out, 20 reps. It's kind of like a warm-up set, but still hypertrophy because I'm going right near failure. Five. 10. 15. 20. Those last 5 reps start to burn. So then next, oh yeah, that's not right. Get that, and this other one. Should let this out. I think I want to put wall hangers up for my weights so I don't have to bend over to get them off this rack. Just have like chest height. I gotta move these bikes so we can get a little reflection action going for the lateral raises. Forgot to move this bike. There we go. Start with the 20s for 15. Brighten it up a bit on the next set. Went to the chiropractor yesterday. I got my back adjusted, but it's still a little sore. Bending over and picking that stuff up. Alright, back over here. Man, this light just keeps getting darker, lighter, constantly. Let's see what we got. How far from your house will the gym be? Anxious for tomorrow, chest day for me, and first of the gym for this week. Oh yeah. Anxious like you're dreading it, or anxious in a little more like the eager way, like excited. But the new gym, it's about 13, 14 minutes away on my in-laws' property. They got a bunch of land. So we're building out there because we're probably eventually gonna move out there with them. But I wanna get this gym built first and put all my stuff there, and I could even live up in the loft area while we're building, so. It's kind of the plan right now. Excited? Yeah, that's what I figured. Not a lot of people say anxious. Technically, you know, anxious means like dreading or fearful, but now they've added to the dictionary, or could mean the same thing as eager, which they were like opposites, you know, eager versus excited, or eager being excited versus anxious. He's shaking? Yeah. Did you get them all off?
Yeah.
Does he smell better?
Yeah. He didn't smell bad.
Food probably smells better. All right, so we got 80 pounds. See if we can get 10 reps here or better. Is he out here?
Yeah.
Lightweight, baby. One, two. Five. Oh man, I wasn't even sure if I made it to 10 that time. That was getting tough. But I got it. So next set, final set of dips, 60 pounds. It'll be a mega drop set. Because I'll be doing as many as I can with 60. I've got a 35 and a 25 hanging from me. So I'll drop the 35, keep going with the 25, then drop that and keep going with nothing. So we'll see how that works out. Let's do some more lateral raises. Zoom all the way in this time. See how that works out. Now it's 10 reps.
Where's Izzy?
I don't know. Cat's out here.
Charlie? Bubba? Charlie? Buddy? I can look you up because you don't have any leaves. No, don't put that. You just leave him like that?
The cat had a bunch of fleas a few days ago and we washed them really good. But I guess a couple of them survived.
Today, we just gave him a little bath. You better now? Are you licking your nose with your paw?
What do you think your contest weight would be if you did another show? I would shoot for 75 or 175 again because
Look at it.
let me do some math real quick. That's what I weighed after I carved up. I basically got to that weight depleted to like, it was around 176, depleted to 173-ish, I think, if I remember it right. And then carved up and I was about 175 and a half on stage. Let me write it in the chat for anyone joining. Probably about 175 pounds. But it's been 2 years since then. So I would hope I've gained 4 or 5 pounds of muscle in the last 2 years. So if I was around like 7% body fat then, which is what I guess, at 175, each percent is 1 3/4 pounds. So another 2% would be 3.5 pounds I'd have to lose. So we'll just call it 4. So if I gained 4 pounds in the last 2 years, that would put me around 5% at that same body weight, which, let's do some math real quick. 175 times, that's 8 3/4 pounds of fat. Right now I'm 10 pounds above that. So 10 plus, I'll just call it 9, 19 divided by 185. That puts me around 11% body fat right now, which I think is probably close to that, somewhere between around 11 or 12. I'll tell you what, the first, like, getting to 180 probably wouldn't be too tough, but those last 5 pounds, it's just like, your body doesn't want to lose it. And then, if you're not strict on your diet, and you have cheats or stuff, and then you have big body weight fluctuations from holding a ton of extra water and stuff like that. I was talking to a buddy at church last night, he was like, man, I'm up a pound since last week. I was like, really? Like, well, what'd you do? And he was saying he had some Mexican food. I was like just one meal? He's like, yeah, I was getting down to like got down like 191 and then gained a few more pounds back. I was like, wait, so like 4 pounds in the last week? He said, yeah. I was like, okay, that's probably water, dude. Especially if it's after one big meal. Because if you're losing weight, your glycogen stores are depleted. Like for me, I'm 185. Your body can hold about 4 times your body weight in grams. So 185, that's 360, 720-ish grams for me. 1 pound is 450 grams. So when you eat a bunch and you get the carbs stored back in your body, every gram of carb can hold 3 grams of water. So that 320 grams turns into, what's called 3,000 grams, which is, let's do the math real quick so I'm not doing this wrong. I'll call it 720 times 4 divided by about 450. That's 6 pounds you could gain just from fully carbing up and holding water with it when you've been in a deficit. So that's the problem when people don't understand that, and you're on top of your diet, you're eating clean, your body weight's staying pretty much the same, you're not having a ton of sodium, but then you do that and all of a sudden you're way heavier the next day. You're like, oh my gosh, this food really does make you fat. And that's not the case. If you ate the same saltiness of food all the time and were at maintenance, your body weight wouldn't fluctuate that much. But when you're losing and then you have a big meal, there's big fluctuations. And after a few days of going back to your normal meals, it's gonna go right back to where it was. So there's big fluctuations that happen, especially when you get that lean and you're trying to keep getting leaner. Every little cheat meal can have a big impact on your weight and makes it harder to track, like, because you don't want to lose too fast, but then that happens, you're like, oh my gosh, I got to cut even more. And then you go into a steeper deficit and then you start losing muscle, which you don't want. Your body composition doesn't change as much because you're losing your muscle too. That's why I don't like cheats. I just play in that stuff in moderation into my normal diet. Like I have pizza probably once a week, and I eat 3 or 4 pieces and I'm good. And I usually just plan on those days we do have pizza, I have a little bit lower calorie meals the rest of the time, so my overall calories stays pretty much the same. All right, what time is it? I got 40 minutes till we gotta go. All right, last set, drop set here. See if I can get 12 or better on this. I'll be happy with 12. 5. One extra rep. Drop some weight. Oh. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna take 10 minutes for Walmart. Do you have anything you need besides like blueberries? Do you need
I'm
more?
not sure. I have to check the yogurt. Probably another case of each. The 17 and the 23. Some more of the milk.
Yeah.
So that was 13, 5, and 6. So today's going pretty well, I will say. Move the camera again. Over to here. So that's encouraging. That I'm getting pretty good results here compared to my last few sessions. It's so hot out here. Now I got lateral raises. And a couple sets of chest flies. Or what are they called? Pec deck flies. Excuse me, cat. It's like my lower back's actually hurting. Just bracing myself, holding the weight. It's not my shoulders that are limiting right now, it's my chest. You know, just addressing that same question earlier about how do you get your bench up, or just any of these exercises, this is all it is. Doing the same thing over and over and over, multiple times a week. And you just slowly make progress. Especially if you're natural, don't expect anything amazing to happen. Like, you'll have good progress your first year or 2 years, for sure. But after that, it's gonna slow down significantly. So, trying to get too used to hitting PRs every week, like this bench pressing. I only got 8 reps the first session I did with that 217.5. I was like, man, I thought I'd at least get 9, that kind of stinks. And then the next session, I only got 7 reps, and I was like, what in the world, I'm going backwards. Then it was like 8, over and over. Now I finally hit 9, so. On a day where I felt tired, and like I was gonna do worse, I was like, what, I'm probably only gonna get 7 today. And I got 9, so. You just gotta push yourself every time you go to the gym. And even if you don't hit a PR, you know you're still doing the most you can that day. 1, 2, 3, thing for me is after every chest day, even when I only got 7 reps, my chest has been sore every single chest day. So, I mean, getting sore doesn't in itself mean that you got a good workout, but if you're sore, if it's not like an injury sore, it's hard to get sore if you didn't push yourself. So, I gotta be making some kind of progress, I figure. Like my quads are sore after every workout. This morning, laying in bed, I was like, oh my goodness, my quads are really tired. I actually felt my hamstring too on one of those last reps when I was straining. I felt a pop in my hamstring, like not a bad pop, but just because I was straining so hard. It's getting bright in here. See if we can bust out another 11 reps. It's fun doing these lateral raises at the end because my shoulders are already a lot more pumped. And wearing a tank top makes them look even bigger. That felt better than the first set of 40s. All right, last 2 sets of this workout. Drop set of whatever this thing's called, pec deck, and a drop set of lateral raises. Oh man. The thing is, it's annoying, is like my bicep tendon is still sore. It's not as bad as it was, but I can feel it when doing these pec deck, which is kind of annoying because it's like partially limiting me versus just my chest limiting me. Any advice for push training with distal clavicle osteoli? I'd have to look up that. Is that where your chest caves in the middle? Let me take a look real quick. Distal. There we go. Oh no, the clavicle, duh, your collarbone. Boom, arthritis. I would probably not do overhead pressing because that's going to put a lot of stress on it. Does your shoulder hurt when you're bench pressing? That's the main thing to think of first, because I used to be of the thought, gotta bench press, which I like bench pressing. I still do it. I power lifted. Just one of my favorite exercises. What in the world? What are you doing, cat? But you don't have to do a bench press to grow your chest. One of my favorite machines is actually this machine they have at our gym, my gym I go to sometimes. And it's just a plate loaded chest press machine. It's got kind of like oval shaped handles, so it's kind of flat. But I mean, it goes from out to in like this. So you're getting the cross push, which your muscle fibers go this way. That's why it's works really good, but I get the best pump on that machine. So I mean, finding a machine or an exercise that works for you first off, and stick with that, something that doesn't cause pain. But also, I was saying earlier, making sure you have the right posture when you're bench pressing so that you're targeting your chest and not your shoulders. Because I used to get shoulder pain in the front all the time because I would bench press like this and do push-ups like this. My arms 90 degrees out, pushing like that, and you're pushing a lot with your front delt, tricep, and your chest is kind of caved in. But if you pinch your shoulder blades together, it rounds your shoulders back, and now your chest is sticking out. And when you push now with your arms down here instead of like this, you're pushing through with your tricep and your chest, and you can feel your chest a lot more. You're still activating your delt, but the chest gets a lot more emphasis. And ever since I started doing that, like my chest will get really tight, start burning on these higher rep sets towards the end, versus just feeling a little sore, my shoulders hurting. So posture is good, and just finding an exercise that works and knowing you don't have to do a certain movement to grow your chest. Some kind of pushing, or like this, like I hurt my chest before, and for like 5 weeks I would just go to the gym down the street before I got this, and all I did was like 8 to 9 sets of flies on one of these because it didn't hurt my chest or my shoulder. So I was still able to work it until it got good enough to where I could start doing a bench press motion again. And that way I didn't lose a lot of strength because I was still working my chest. I lost strength in the bench press, but muscle mass I didn't. And then once I did the bench for a couple weeks, it went right back to normal. All right, drop set. Here we go. This has been a great machine. This is I think it's GMWD Fitness, but for pec flies like this and rear delt flies, I like it way more than dumbbells or cable machines. Come on. Oh man, sweat is burning my eyes. All right, one more set. I'm done. I got one more pull day. I think I may actually do Saturday instead of tomorrow, because I think I'm going to go to the actual pool and swim tomorrow. Because I missed it the other day when I wasn't feeling great. Let's zoom in real close. 3-month Turk Platinum test. No, thank you. I want to be off. I mean, I'm not ruling it out, but I probably wouldn't do that till the end of the year. I'm going to go back to using nothing and see if I get a strength increase from not using it. Because I think, just based on my experience so far, the only use case, unless there's something that pops up in all my numbers that I haven't been noticing, would be like start using it like 4 or 5 weeks out from a bodybuilding competition to help with. It takes my appetite down some, so help with the diet part, maybe strength a little bit, and make you look a little leaner. But yeah, I don't really see that. Something I am planning on trying, should be coming in soon, is I ordered some of his test booster, because they say, I looked up the ingredients, it's mostly a lot of vitamins. So since I'm about to get my blood work now, probably in like September or so, after I finish this next round of, I don't want it to affect my performance after coming off turkesterone. After I finish that, taking that for a month and getting another blood test done and seeing if it does raise your natural testosterone. Even if it does, I'm not going to keep taking it. I'm just interested to see, does it actually do that? Because I feel perfectly fine as I am. What they say, you know, supposedly these testosterone boosters aren't like stuff in the past. They're actually do something. So if it goes up by 100 points or more into the 600s, then I'll say, yeah, sure, that's something that people take. And even that, I would probably only take it if I was going to do a bodybuilding show to help keep my testosterone level higher as you get to that ridiculously lean physique. Where's my numbers? I did, I got 8. Sweet, that was 1 extra rep. All right, last set, 11 and 11 is what I got last time. So the 40s and drop into the 30s. So, let's see what we can get. There we go. 12. 1 extra. Oh my goodness, I just felt my quad big time when I squatted down on one leg. Oh, and that's it. That's the leg day, y'all. I mean, leg day. That is the push day. So, I haven't decided yet if I'm gonna do push day tomorrow or pull day, or if I'm gonna swim tomorrow. I'm thinking swim and then pull day on Saturday. So I'll probably see y'all Saturday. Let me know in the comments what's the best time of the day Saturday. We'll go from there. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.